When you hear the name Ryan Dunn, what comes to mind? For millions of us, it's one thing: the legendary daredevil from Jackass. He was the guy who seemed to laugh in the face of danger, famous for his absolutely wild stunts and for living life right on the edge. And this quote, man, it just sums it all up, doesn't it? This was his public persona, the fearless, almost indestructible star who totally captivated a generation.
But behind all that laughter and the mind-blowing stunts, there's a way more complicated and, honestly, a deeply tragic story. So what really went down? What series of events led to the absolutely terrifying end of Ryan Dunn's life? That's what we're going to unpack here.
Right, so to really get the full picture, we gotta go back, way back. Let's look at how this kid from Pennsylvania blew up into a global superstar.
His rise to fame, it was ridiculously fast. It all started with these homemade stunt videos called CKY, which he made with his high school buddy Bam Margera. In less than a year, that raw, chaotic energy landed them on MTV. And when Jackass premiered in 2000, boom, Ryan Dunn was an international star, a key part of the crew.
And inside that crew, he got a nickname that just fit him perfectly: Random Hero. Why? Because he was the guy who would do the stuff that was considered too crazy, even for the rest of the Jackass guys. I mean, think about that. It just tells you everything you need to know about his reputation for being completely fearless. But being fearless like that, well, it comes with a price. A huge one. While we all saw the stunts on TV, the real danger was often hidden in what happened after the camera stopped rolling. And the consequences were severe, both physically and mentally. There was this one stunt in Jackass #2 that really became a critical turning point. He got dragged by a horse, landed super hard on his shoulder. On camera, it's just another wild stunt. But what we didn't see was that this one moment set off a total chain reaction of disaster for him. That fall, it gave him a life-threatening blood clot. And while he's getting treated for that, doctors find out he has Lyme disease too. This 1-2 punch just sends him spiraling into this deep, dark depression. So bad that he completely cut himself off from the Jackass guys and his friends for 2 whole years. And we're not talking about just a few scrapes here. This was deadly serious. The director, Jeff Tremaine, put it bluntly. That blood clot was so dangerous that if even a tiny piece of it broke off and went to his heart or brain, he would have died. Instantly. Dunn later said he was terrified, realizing just how close he'd come. Yet, somehow, he bounced back. He showed this incredible resilience. When he finally returned for Jackass 3D, he said it was his favorite thing he ever filmed, the best time he ever had with the franchise. He was back with his boys, which honestly just makes what happens next even more of a gut punch. Okay, so while all the on-screen chaos was happening, there was another dangerous pattern taking shape in his life, one that had nothing to do with movie stunts: his driving. Just look at this number, 23. I'm going to say it again, 23 separate driving violations between 1998 and 2011. This wasn't just a bad day or a one-off mistake. This was a habit, a really, really dangerous one that went on for over a decade. And if you break it down, it gets even clearer. 10 of those were for speeding or just straight-up reckless driving. And 3 times, he got caught driving when his license was already suspended. It's like that random hero thing wasn't just for the cameras. He was living on the edge on public roads, too. And the biggest red flag of all? It came way back in 2005. He was charged with a DUI after a crash. Now, he did a program for first-time offenders to stay out of jail, but they still took his license away for more than a year. This wasn't some hidden problem. It was right there, on the record. And the people around him, they knew. They were terrified. Bam Margera's mother said it so simply: "He drove too fast. I yelled at him all the time about that." I mean, can you imagine? His closest friends, his family, they saw this train coming. And that brings us to the end, the final tragic chapter. So let's walk through exactly what happened on the night of June 19th, 2011. The night started at a bar with friends, including a 30-year-old named Zachary Hartwell. Around 2:30 in the morning, Ryan got behind the wheel of his Porsche, and he just floored it. We're talking speeds over 130 miles an hour. He lost control on a curve, ripped through a guardrail, slammed into a tree, and the car just erupted in flames, trapping both of them. The crash was so bad it shook even the most hardened first responders. The local police chief, Michael Carroll, said this: I've been on a lot of fatal accident scenes. This is by far the worst I've ever seen. When a veteran cop says that, you know it was absolutely horrific. And the details of the scene, they're just grim. The Porsche wasn't a car anymore. It was just shattered, charred pieces. 100-foot skid mark was scarred into the road. The fire was so intense, they had to use his tattoos to identify his body. The official cause of death for both him and Zachary Hartwell was the impact and the fire. So after a tragedy like this, there's always the why and the what now. You have the reckoning and then the remembrance. Let's look at the official findings and how Ryan Dunn's legacy is handled today. The toxicology report, well, it confirmed everyone's worst fears. His blood alcohol level was 0.196%. To put that in perspective, the legal limit in Pennsylvania is 0.08%. He was more than double the legal limit. Sources later suggested he may have had up to 11 drinks that night. And the fallout wasn't just emotional. The parents of Zachary Hartwell, who was a newly married Iraq war veteran, filed a lawsuit against Ryan's estate and the bar that served him. They claimed negligence, holding them both responsible for the crash that took their son's life. It's just a stark reminder that these choices have devastating consequences for so many other people. But for all the tragedy surrounding his death, the love for him was just overwhelming. Social media was flooded with grief from friends, fans, you name it. Bam Margera's mother said she felt like she'd lost one of her own sons. They dedicated the next Jackass movie to him, and his partner, Angie, has understandably stayed out of the public eye ever since. So at the end of the day, Ryan Dunn's story is it's full of contradictions, isn't it? He was the random hero who made millions of people laugh until they cried. But his life is also this powerful, cautionary tale about risk and the hidden pain that can live behind a public smile. It leaves us with a really tough question. How do you remember a hero when their legacy is a mix of so much joy and so much tragedy?